Hello everybody, welcome back to some more Crystalline. Last time we did the Shadow Temple stuff. There was illusions, we met the Wicked Witch of the West, a Shadow Elemental, I couldn't think of her name. And we're back to this. The brightness surrounds me and go for me. We walk through the rift. My legs wade through the light, it's thick and heavy as I'm wading through water. It seems... okay. Time seems to slow, and yet an instant later I stumble out of the light and into the forest. When I turn back, I catch one last glimpse of a shadow elemental. She waves goodbye before the rift closes behind us. Oof, this is spooky. Before I have a chance to get my bearings, Kara immediately pulls me down. I'm about to protest, but she puts a finger on her lips. She points to a row of bushes keeping us from sight. I nod and understand and stay quiet. Looking around, I see the tall trees overhead from a thick canopy blocking out the sun. The tree trunks are thick and gnarled. Many of them have heavy scarring. The grass beneath my feet feels thin and hard. When I look further out, the landscape changes into a barren patch of dry ground flocked with craters. It looks like some serious damage took place here. Footsteps sound nearby. I see the patrol group pass close to us. I hold my breath as they walk by. Luckily, they don't spot us. When they're out of sight, I breathe a sigh of relief. Kara relaxes slightly, as do the rest of my teammates. Where are we?
It would appear we are on the former battleground of the Battle of Asaria.
I took another look at the harsh land. It must have been a really intense battle to have scarred the landscape this much. Lana looks at her manipulator.
I'm scanning extremely high levels of shadow energy here.
As am I. It is without question this is where Void's main base of operation is.
She fiddles with her manipulator.
And the energy type is specific to being transmuted into tainted energy.
Can't say I'm surprised.
This doesn't add up. You would think a place where Void was last strongest would be a place that would be monitored. According to the Mage Guild reports, they do monitor here.
Then what gives?
They've got a fucking rat.
The shadow energy here is vast. It would appear Void has used this to their advantage, to not only mask their energy signature, but to also shroud themselves from the eyes of scouts.
How do you have so much energy you can hide it?
We, however, appear to have pierced the veil by being on the inside of it.
The Shadow Elemental sent us inside their defenses. That's helpful. Void shouldn't be underestimated. They're dangerous, but not stupid.
Look there!
Are we supposed to be quiet? Then at points of distance, tendrils of a shadow crawl towards the sky. They flicker and dance above the skyline. Amelia checks her manipulators
That
again.
location has the highest concentration of energy.
We should go there first.
Then that's where we need to go to stop them.
The group readies themselves as Zach surveys the surroundings.
There's a lot of ground between us and them. Not to mention all the patrols, guards, and lookouts they'll have.
He is right. One does not simply walk into the heart of Void's operation.
One does not simply walk. What if I use shadow magic? I think I have a way. Hey, look at me. I have shadow magic now. What if we turn it around on them and I shroud us all in a shadow cloak? They seem skeptical.
You've never cast shadow magic before.
Fuck, I can try. I close my eyes and focus on the icy emptiness I felt when the shadow energy poured into me. I remember the soft, biting touch. I raise my hand and a dark bubble and shadow engulfs us. It's reminiscent of a bubble Amelia encases in the water temple. Zach and Kara inspected the bubble, poking cautiously at the sides. Leanna seems impressed.
You did it!
Most impressive, although not surprising considering his previous mastery of the elements. Let us make haste.
I focus my attention on the shadow shroud as we shuffle out of cover. My heart pounds in my chest. Will this actually help keep us hidden? We pause as we hear more footsteps. Another set of patrols come our way. I hold my breath as they near, then sigh out when they walk past us. The shroud successfully kept us hidden. Quickly but quietly, we continue towards the center of the encampment. We make good progress, stopping only when we get too close to the patrols. I keep the shadow shroud around us, feeling the energy flowing out of me. Even though I've been casting for this long, I don't feel tired. All of that training has finally paid off. Eventually, we reach the inner circle. There's a circle of robed figures. Their dark hoods cover their faces, but the deep purple robes of void mages are unmistakable. The purple shadows fly around them, the whispering and mixing with their chants. The tendrils whip wildly in the air as it continues to grow. They thicken the sky, shielding the light within the dark cloud. This is a lot more magic than we originally saw. We're about to form a plan when one of the guards looks in our direction. His gaze pierces through my shroud and seems looking right at us. What's going on? I haven't stopped my magic. The rest of his squadron is staring at us too. I take another look at their uniforms. They're wearing armor and carrying a sword, but also have manipulators. It reminds me of Leanna's guard. These Void Mage Knights?
I have a bad feeling about this.
As one, they draw their swords. A metal ringing echoes in the air, and their manipulators start to glow.
They found us! Dodge!
A flurry of shadow bolts fire in our direction. We leap out of the way. My concentration is broken and the shroud collapses. The Void Knights dash towards us as purple energy gathers in their hands.
We need to reach the mages and stop whatever they're doing.
I don't think Void Knights are going to let us through that easily.
Then we'll fight right through them!
Agreed. We ready ourselves for action. Haha, I get to click shit. Ooh. Win! My breath comes in ragged gasps as I face the next Void Knight, but I don't hesitate. As he swings, I whip past him and his sword pierces empty air. I strike from behind, knocking the sword out of his hand, and then use the blunt end of my blade to augmented by a rush of wind. I knock him out and he crumbles to the ground. The rest of my team stand with me as we scan the area for more enemies. The ground is littered with fallen Void Knights, but the circle of mages still stands. Their chanting grows in volume as the shadows continue to multiply and ignore our presence and entrance in their own world.
Perform the final channel.
No!
Leanna and Amy throw magic at the mages and pour their energy into the dark shadows. Zack and Kara start to race towards the circle, but a wave of darkness washes over us, flinging us back. We're too late. The dancing shadow warps and surges, flickering claws, and reach out and burst to the ground and engulfs the circle. Darkness swells and reaches the taller of the meager trees, blinding me with its blanket of shadow. I hear a faint cackle of the mages as a surge of purple energy explodes. Shielding my eyes from the blast, I put my hand forth and summon a barrier of opaque shadow to protect us from the shadow shockwaves. As the magic slowly ebbs, I blink my eyes back into the focus. The entire place is literally fallen void. Only my friends and I are protected from the blast. However, the shadows twist away to reveal empty eyes, curled with long claws and sharp teeth, and I gape at the monstrosity looming in the sky.
What is that?
Shadow
I
Dragon?
have never seen such a creature before.
Leanna takes in the scene of the fallen victims, her mouth twisting into a frown.
And it left a full trail of destruction as it emerged, without discriminating between void or anything else.
A piercing howl deafens as the creature screams. It wipes a long claw at us. But I erect another barrier. Although I managed to block the attack, we're still pushed back by the sheer force of the power. Crack. Zack's discharger goes off, shocking us back to life. The energy rises, absorbed by the creature. Zack's eyes widen as it fixes his lifeless stare onto him, away from the claw at us. But this time I can't block it in time. Goodness. We're also flying across the camp. My cheeks scrape along the ground as I fall hard. My team struggles to their feet beside me. Amy conjures a flaming sphere between her hands and launches it at the creature. The ball of fire disperses harmlessly across the shadow beast, undeterred. Amy tries to freeze it in place, but it blocks her magic, leaving it unscathed. It roars as it swipes another claw at Amy, but Kara pushes her out of the way, and she takes the brunt of the attack. She's knocked back against a tree and slides limply to the ground. Amy rushes over to her. In the meantime, Leanna races around the creature, trying to draw its attention. Her sword glows a pale blue, and she hacks at the shadow creature begins. It roars again, and coils of shadow wrap around Leanna's legs. She manages to wiggle free, but the tendrils are relentless, and soon she's trapped. All of our attacks are futile against the creature. Leanna and Zack motion for retreat, but the creature shoots the shadows to block our escape. Slowly, the shadows surround us and close in. We're forced to remain and fight. We share a glance and nod. We have to work together and take this thing down. Leanna and Kara both run. Amy sends bolts of ice towards the monster, freezing any tendrils to try to escape, just in time for Leanna to slice him down. The creature howls in pain. He tries to swipe Leanna, but Amy burns his claws with the ball of fire that recoils from the heat. Zack aims his discharges and shoots any tendrils which try to reach Kara, while Kara furiously cuts ribbons of shadows off the beast. Again, the beast lets out another shriek as the tendrils coil back. I bring up an earthen barrier to shield Amy as a sneaky shadow tendril tries to strike her, and then I cut it down with my sword. I blast the creature while burning a fireball, sends a burst of wind behind it. The resulting explosion is twice as big as it hits the creature straight in the chest. It stumbles back as it continues to advance. It looks like we're doing some damage, and another surge of adrenaline kicks in as I let loose another fireball. The beast lets out another scream, one so shrill I felt it in my bones. It swells in size, growing and surging until it blocks out the sky completely. Raising its claw, it pummels us with a series of fast attacks. I bring him a shield, but its claw rips right through it. We're sent sprawling across the ground again. My face burns as I scrape the dirty ground. Feeling bruised, we push ourselves back to our feet. We can't give up now. The creature watches us struggle and splits into a chaotic grin. As I stumble back to my feet, I look at the rest of my team still on the ground. They groan and they push themselves to their feet. My legs shake as I steady myself. We can't go on like this. I can already feel the exhaustion setting in. I won't be able to keep this up forever. Either I run out of energy or my body gives up on me. The thought nibbles in the back of my mind. But what if I use all of my remaining energy and channel into one powerful blast? I know that if I do that, there's no coming back from it. My body's already close to hitting the point of exhaustion, and Amelia warned me multiple times about what will happen if I channel too much energy at once. But this may be our only chance of stopping this creature. Unlimited power! All those temples we visited, all that energy I accumulated, I feel it humming deep within me, and a gentle reminder that it's still there as if it knows it has time. Its time has come. It was all for this moment. The energy within me itches to be released, but I pause. That explosion of energy is dangerous for my friends too. I don't want them to get caught up in the blast. I need to get them to a secure location. I can't channel all of my energy, shield my friends, and fight off the creature simultaneously. But how do I get them to go?
Boy.
I look down at the Pongo. What's he doing here? He looks up at me and his eyes harden. His body buzzes like the energy within me. I think he can sense what I need to do.
Boy.
I can feel the energy surrounding him too. My energy, which is slowly been storing all this time. It sings to each other, wanting to be whole again. I think the Pongo wants to let it free. But what will happen to you? The Pongo gives me a knowing look. His eyes harden with determination. What will happen to him is the same thing that will happen to me if I unleash all my energy at once. Are you sure you still want to do it? This is a weird way to add the Pongo into this. It makes some emotions roil within me. I don't want to lose him, but I understand the decision that he's made. It's the same decision that I'm making. Stay back. I push my teammates behind me as I step between them and the creature. I have to use all my energy to protect my friends, to protect Terra, no matter the cost. If I have to risk my life protecting those I love, then that's the one risk I'm willing to take. The Pongo hops forward with me.
What are you doing?
Well, we have to.
Boy.
The Pongo's voice feels small, but the determination in his eyes is strong. The Pongo closes his eyes and the bright light encapsulates him like a shining halo. The light hardens around us, forming a magic barrier where the dome cages me and the Pongo with the shadow beast, leaving the friends safely on the outside. I see my teammates shouting as if they sound faint and far away. I can't make out their words, but I can still hear their pain in their voices. Soon as that's drowned out by the cry from the creature, it writhes in pain, twisting away from the bright light as I shielded it. With the barrier in place, I concentrate on the energy within me. Leanna steps towards the protective shield, her eyes glittering. Oh, hello. This is a fucking save. Why did I save here? What the fuck is this? She puts her hands against the grid, banging against it. Her screams are muffled as the pounding of her fists against the dome. Energy from the dome sparkles each time she pounds against it. I shake my head, I can't hear her. She shakes her head, her hands trembling against the barrier. My heart aches as I watch her face fall. She looks so helpless and lost, and it's all my fault. This is the only way I know I can protect her. I smile softly and place my hand against hers. The shield feels cool as the hum of energy vibrates beneath my fingers. She overlaps her hands perfectly against mine, but her warmth doesn't penetrate the cold, hard barrier. I'll keep you safe, I promise. She shakes her head again. Her eyes widen and she pounds against the shield again. Tears flow down her cheeks and she shouts again. Leanna. She pauses and her hands cling to the dome, her eyes glittering. I'm so lucky to have met you. I know our time together is short, but I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world. You're the best thing to have ever happened to me. Even though she can't hear me, she sees the expression on my face and there's tears spilling over again, leaving twin trails of wetness down her cheeks. I mean, I don't care that we're no longer together. There's a chance I won't see her again, and I need to tell her exactly how I feel. Leanna, I love you. She gasps sharply as she reads my lips. She clutches with the barrier. She used her wind magic to try to break through the shield. When that doesn't work, she grabs her sword, but none of her strikes make a dent. I give her one last smile and turn towards the beast. The shadow creature bores its teeth and lets out another unworldly howl. She continues to reel back from the lights. He continues to reel back from the light surrounding him. All of my rage and pent-up frustration bubbles within me, remembering the malicious glee on that beast's face when it forces my anger to boil over. How dare that thing try to hurt my friends? How dare it threaten Terra? I won't let it. A scream rips out of my throat as I let the anger wash over me. It burrows deep into my bones, igniting the energy within me. All the feelings of each element roars within me: tranquility, chaos, rejuvenation. I feel the white-hot flash of all the energy race through me, itching to be released. The light finally dissipates around the creature and it blinks a few times, trying to refocus. When it sees me, it growls and tries to swipe at me, but another shield blocks it. The bongo made sure I would have enough time to channel all of my energy. I won't forget what you've done for me. Feeling a renewed strength, I continue to gather the energy within me. Shit! The shadow beast howls and wails an extra barrier, which is a solid hit. I begin to see fractures forming along the surface. Oh shit! I'm saving here too! Just as the energy is about to overwhelm me, I throw out my arms and the power rises out of me, materializing as 5 pointed swords, all deadly sharp, all poised to strike at the creature. As they emerge, they pierce what's remaining of my barrier, dispatching kaleidoscopes of light at the beasts. It shrinks from the light, howling with rage. My mind strangely calm, my senses sharpened, I can smell the crackle of energy in the air. It's sweet yet spicy. The hair on my neck stands on end as the remaining energy continues to surge within me. As the beast shakes off the last of the light, it refocuses on me, baring its teeth. You don't scare me. I open my arms wide again and force all my remaining energy into each blade as it shoots out. Chiakazim. I'm gonna save here too. I like this art. The creature readies itself for impact. Instead, it forces blades into the ground, fracturing the earth and creating a perimeter around the beast. A beam of golden light shoots straight up from the swords, and the shadow beast blinks as it shields his eyes from the light. When nothing more happens, it growls at me, readying another attack. Before it can, more beams of light splinter off from the swords and surround the creature, and the feelings uncoil within me as the energy flashes into existence. Fire, earth, water, wind, shadow. The beast twists around, confused by the light, which continues to grow in brightness. My body feels heavy as the energy gushes out of me. The light becomes blinding as my legs give out beneath me. I'm on the ground, but the energy continues to expel out of my body. I can't control it anymore. With each wave of energy, my body heaves. Exhaustion blankets me and makes my body feel heavy. And yet the brilliant light blazes hot behind me and chases the shadows away. You shall not pass! Has to be. Has to be. The creature lets loose an anguished scream as it begins to dissolve. The scream lingers in my mind, resonating in my ears. Through the blinding whiteness, I imagine Leanna's smile just dazzling as the light, and then nothing. It's over. It's finally over. My friends are safe, and that's what's important. With a smile on my face, I let the brightness wash over me as my world falls silent. I've been vaporized. What is going on? Hello? Oh. I blink open my eyes into a world of gray. Where am I? Feeling groggy, I rub my eyes and look around stiff mountain peaks. I climb into the horizon while a stream babbles nearby. It flows into a river basin underneath the splashing waterfall. Oh. The scenery is very picturesque. It looks straight out of a magazine. The colors are all wrong. Everything is immediately. In the immediate area around me is either black or white or some shade in between. As it gets further into the distance, I see a grove of trees with a pocket of green. On the left are a cluster of purple mountains. The more I look around, the more I see color and localized to specific areas. I wonder why only some places have colors and others don't. soft voices catch my attention. I look over and recognize the spirits from the temple. They look exactly as I remember, but more solid, more real.
Those who summoned the Shadow Prime Vanquisher must be discovered to face the consequences. Their actions cannot be ignored.
Once your investigation begins, it will only be a matter of time before the perpetrators are found. Only those in energy surplus can open a rift onto Mortalis Terra.
Earth Elemental's voice sweet and melodic like the birds of the forest. Air Elemental's eyes widen.
Such is forbidden, though. That is something they would have known.
Her voice is strong and carries far. It's strange hearing all of the elementals talk. The others nod in agreement.
Yes, and out of those who can cross over to Mortalis Terra, only 3 Shadow Houses have access to a Shadow Prime Vanquisher. The Shadow Houses have remained quiet ever since I took over the Magistrate. I wonder if they were all plotting this.
The Water Elemental places a comforting hand on the Shadow Elemental's arm when she speaks. Her voice bubbles and flows like the rush of a
You
river.
cannot blame yourself for these unfortunate courses of events. Their plan was in the making before you even ascended the Shadow Magistrate.
The Earth Elemental nods.
In truth, you handled the situation quite well, especially for being new in your role.
The Fire Elemental puts her hands on her hips, the heat of dancing flames in her voice.
However, Sister Magistrates, our work is far from over. We must each return to our domains. If rumors spread that there are no consequences for crossing into Mortalis Terra, we may have our own houses who might hope to take matters into their own hands and try to summon our own elemental prime vanquishers.
I stare, pushing myself off the ground. The elementals freeze. The Shadow Elemental looks over to me and gasps.
You're here?
At the mention of me, the other elementals turn around and slowly make their way towards me. Their faces are a mixture of concern and surprise. Air Elemental flits over to me and looks me over.
Is he real? No human has ever crossed over to our side before.
Where am I? What is this place? The Shadow Elemental steps over to me.
This is the Ether Terra.
Ether Terra? How? The last thing I remember is defeating a creature and then there was a blinding light. The elementals share a
The
glance.
light. Was it from your cast?
I think so.
And you casted all of the elements at once?
Yeah. They blink at each other in surprise when the Fire Elemental speaks. She sounds pensive.
You must have inadvertently opened a temporal fracture, which pulled you into Ether Terra.
I somehow casted a rift, and yet I'm still alive, but I remember this crippling pain of the energy consuming me. Is that even possible? They look at each other worried.
That I cannot answer for certain. Yet you stand here in our realm. No human has ever set foot in Ether Terra before, but no human has been able to cast all of the elements either.
I look around my surroundings. The landscape feels familiar, but nothing is the same. It all feels so overwhelming. All I want to do is return to normalcy. It doesn't matter how I got here. I need to get back. Can you send me back?
Back where exactly?
Shit. I should have saved. Back to Terra. The elementals look at each other and back to me. They nod. They prepare themselves to cast, but before they do, they look at me instead. Seeing all of them standing together, it hits me just how regal they look.
You do not wish to return to your world?
I shake my head. I have someone waiting for me in Terra who I am very eager to get back to.
As you wish. Child of the other world, thank you.
The Shadow Elemental lowers her head in respect. Each elemental nods to me in turn. I look at each of the elementals and smile. I appreciate all your help you've given me along the way.
I am glad it was enough.
It was our pleasure. We won't forget you, or what you've done for us.
The elementals return to position.
Are you ready?
Yes. My vision goes stark white again. I feel the same crackle of energy. Electricity tingles my skin as I feel the weightless solidness around me. Instinctively, I shield my eyes. When I return to Terra. My friends are solemnly gathering together. Leanna is crumpled over her hands, hanging her head in her hands. I can hear the sobs below, over the sniffling of the group. Zaga's stone face looking in the distance at nothing. Kara's arms are around him, her head resting on his shoulders, and the silent tears roll down her cheeks. Amy kneels beside Leanna and awkwardly pats her back. Her bright pigtails are lowered, hiding her face. be nonchalant. You've got to. You can't not do that. You just, everyone thinks you're be like, so what we crying about? Definitely welcome to the group. No, that's exactly what I fucking said. So, what are we all crying about? As everyone head whips towards me and a pin drop can be heard in the resulting silence.
You're alive?
Yep. Elena leaps to her feet and then throws her arms around me. Whoa! I stumble as I catch her and regain my balance. She squeezes me in a tight
You're
hug.
alive!
I'm here.
I thought I lost you!
But wasn't that the...
Don't you ever leave me again!
I already told you before I wouldn't, remember? She pulls it back and gazes into my eyes. I gently wipe the tears from her cheeks. Her crystal blue eyes draw me in as I study them, etching them into memory. She grabs my face and pulls me into a long kiss as we breathlessly break away. The rest of her team surrounds us.
What happened? How did you get back here?
It's a bit of a long story, which might best be saved for another time. Amy nods.
Even without an explanation, it is still quite reassuring to have you return.
Thanks, Amy. I'm glad to be back. I missed you
We
guys.
missed you too.
It kind of exploded.
Come on, it's only been like 5 minutes since he was gone. Don't be so dramatic.
Despite that, his eyes are glittering. Zach, were you crying?
No, you were crying.
I'm pretty sure I was... Pongo's alive. We don't look at the tiny squeak. Out of the scarf hops a miniature Pongo, no bigger than my finger. Yeah, wait. He hops on my shoulder and squeaks again. Ah, get off! You're alive! Pongo, thank goodness you're alive. I lean my cheek into him and he squishes his cheek into a hug.
boy.
I was worried about you too. I don't think I'll ever see you again. Lane appears with the Pongo.
Oh, he's so cute!
Amy squints to get a closer
He
look.
certainly bears a strong resemblance.
Well, yeah. All Pongos pretty much look the same.
Caroline, he punches Zach's
Don't
arm.
be mean.
What the?
Boy?
Pongo hops up and nips my nose. Yep, that's definitely him.
I'm so relieved he made it too.
Of course, he's a tough little guy. I pat his head and he snuggles against my neck. Gradually, as the shock of my reappearance winds down, we all sit down and take a minute just to process everything. The creature was defeated and all of my teammates are alive and safe. But most importantly, I'm back in Terra. I look over at Leanna, who twists the lock of her hair deep in thought. There's nothing standing in the way of us now, no looming threat of danger, or the possibility of one of us leaving. We were finally free to be together. Zach clears his throat, breaking the silence, interrupting my thoughts.
So, we finally defeated Void.
Seems that way. Kara gives Zach a strange look.
Yes.
Zach gestures to me.
And I'm assuming since you're still here in Terra, it means you aren't trying to find a way home anymore.
Well, I had the option. Lena gaze slides to me. She bites her lip in anticipation, her eyes anxious yet hopeful. I smile at her. That's right. She smiles, her eyes shining. Zach grins and puts his hands behind his head, leaning back against a tree.
Excellent. Then I believe payment is in order.
You blink at him, huh?
My job was to protect Amelia throughout our travels, and, as you can see, she is in one piece. So, you owe me
Jesus.
42,030 coins for my services based on how long this mission has been and how far we've traveled.
Good God. Again, we gave it Zach. The color drains from Leanna's face. We just saved the world.
Saving the world doesn't put beer in my stomach.
Yeah, but it keeps you alive. Even Carl looks at him astonished.
What about some of the loot you took from the temples?
That's a perk of the job. I was promised payment.
If the objective was to keep me safe throughout our travels, then your mission is not yet complete. In order to return me to Illumia, we will still need to travel.
As the other try to reason with Zach, Leanna just stares.
Zach, you can't be serious right now.
Zach faces his stony gaze and Leanna then grins.
You're right. I'm just joking.
I figured. There's a pause.
What?
It's a joke, like, haha, that's funny, sort of thing.
Like,
I
haha.
think you need to work on your jokes and timing.
I don't know. He's a pretty solid dry humor kind of thing.
It's not my fault if you guys don't understand good humor.
Zach crosses his arms and pouts. Lena breaks down in laughter. Her laugh is infectious, soon all is for doubling over with laughter, realizing everything that's pent up inside, all of the hurt, fear, and relief. As I view each of my friends, I feel a warmth blossom within me. These are the people who mean the most to me, and no matter what the future throws at us, I know we can always count on each other to get through it. In them, I found my family. Oh, at the exact 30-minute mark, whew, with them I am home. Oh. Am I getting a cutscene? Dot dot dot. Dot 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 dot. 2 months later. Oh, shit's happening. I didn't realize that this was going down. Dot dot dot. Dot 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 dot. Oh, this guy. Bard.
And so, our heroes triumphed. But that is not the end of their tale.
What? What?
Our talented magecaster, Amelia, returned to the Mage Academy and submitted the results of her field study. It was received with much admiration.
She no longer does
and to
Twin
this
Tails?
day, her studies on the elementals are still being discussed.
Why does she look older? It's been 2 months. What the She's got a witch's hat, too.
Needless to say, the rest of her tenure as a student was a breeze, and she graduated with full honors. After graduation, she donned the same black cloaks at the academy and became a professor herself. She became something of an expert on the temples, and students traveled far and wide to study from her. Although busy teaching the next generation of mages, Amelia never lost her innate sense of curiosity. Her latest research dives deeper into the secrets of rifts and parallel worlds.
He chuckles.
For all that has changed, not so very much has changed at all. As for the mercenary and his dashing beauty, well, retirement suits them well. Zack hung up his discharges, and Kara's finally grown some roots. Together, they combined their savings to provide other lost children what they've always wanted: a family. They run an orphanage now, accepting all children who need a home. Zack teaches them all sorts of life skills, while Kara teaches them about art and history. No matter how gruff Zack may be, he's careful and gentle with the children. In fact, they know that at the end of the day, Zack is just a big softy at heart. Kara showers the children with love and affection, and encourages them to tease Zack. After all this time, it's still so easy to get him flustered.
Okay, I was concerned that these were his kids. I was like, 2 months and they're taking, like, he's like a 3-year-old?
The two of them have finally found their happiness and their home. Next is our formidable Mage Knight. After the last battle against the Shadow Prime Vanquisher, Liana returned to the Mage Guild to report all of her findings. The guild was impressed by her fortitude and boldness in hindering Void's uprising. Her selflessness and bravery demonstrated she possessed the heart and spirit
That's
of what it
sick
means to be a
looking armor.
top-class Mage Knight. She was promoted to the most prestigious rank of Mage Class S, the highest within the guild. She is the youngest Mage Knight to receive such an honor. When her family heard the news, they all attended her promotion ceremony, beaming with pride. Her father stood in the front row, and afterwards boasted about how his daughter embodied the strength and intelligence of House Dawn. No longer does
Of course
Liana
he
fret
did.
about what the future might determine for her. She knows that she can carve her own destiny.
Come on, give me something.
And as for our hero, well, that is a tale for another day.
You're a real piece of shit. You did not just cockblock me like that. No, you fucking didn't.
We'll fly over the clouds.
Did I not get an ending?
One more step.
I get nothing in 2 months later?
Together,
Is Leanna still with me? Is she not? I...
for the journey's just begun.
Did I miss something? Okay, no, I think these are just added pictures. Who the fuck is that guy? Oh, is that me? Who the hell?
A new chapter holding things unknown. Every turn a chance to grow.
Take a grab of life and hold it tight. I will soar, spread my wings against the winds of the sky. I try, I can't always
What in the Sam have?
all the doubt locked here inside.
It with a nose is so much worse.
Never let me go. I know that even so, I don't care. Watch me and you'll see. Once more, eager and strong. I am brave through our bond. Cause I know you're by my side. I fight the gleam of my sword. Never mind. Now lost in a daze. There's so much I could say.
There is Rose, Zach.
With the rising of the sun in sight, charge ahead.
XZ. It's a little big. Location? Question mark, question mark, question mark. Everything is pitch black. I can hear someone flipping through the pages of a book. I hear low whispering, the scratching of a pen. Ugh, my head. Did I dream all this stuff?
Hey.
Who the fuck is Shinji Ro? It was such a good dream I don't want to wake up.
Hey!
Someone shakes
Come
me.
on, wake up!
Who the fuck is Shinji Ro? Shinjiro? I sit up blinking. Whoa. Everything is blurry at first, and then a classroom comes to focus. A student in a green cloak sits next to me.
Finally, you're awake. How can you sleep at a time like this? We've got to study!
I glance at the mountain of books and groan. Only after enrolling in the Mage Academy and officially learning how to be a mage, I've realized just how little I actually know. Being a mage was so much better when it was just me and Leanna waking up at the crack of dawn to spar. She's way nicer teacher than anyone here. I sigh. Things are way easier when the elementals were helping out. My mastery of casting the elements quickly diminished after the battle months ago. I think my fast learning had something to do with the elementals' magic, like they were heightening my abilities
What?
somehow. He raises an
What
eyebrow.
are you talking about, Broseph?
You just called me Broseph? Oops, did I say that out loud? I said it was much easier when Amy was helping me out. Shinji lets out a strangled
I
laugh.
told you before, it's really weird when you call Professor Estelle by your first name. And a nickname at that.
I huff and cross my arms, leaning further in my chair. Yeah, well, you'd think my old travel companion would at least give me less homework. Pongo wiggles out of my scarf and bounces under the desk. He's a little bigger now, maybe teenage-sized Pongo. He leaps under the books and scattering a few papers. That's right, Pongo. Studying sucks. The Pongo gives me a pointed frown and shakes his head as if disappointed. He indicates to one of the open books. Are you trying to tell me I need to study too? Damn it. Pongo nods. Shinji laughs.
The Pongo has spoken.
Indeed
Time to
it
get
has.
back to it then.
I sigh, pulling myself together. I thought you were my friend, Pongo. He grins widely and snuggles against me. I can't stay angry at him. My friend plops an open book and we take turns quizzing each other on our upcoming test. Before long, I say farewells to Shinji and head out. The sky is clear, blue. I shield my eyes from the bright sun as the soft breeze tickles my skin. With my studying over, I feel prepared for Amy's test tomorrow. As I head back towards my dorm, excited voices catch my attention. I stop to check out what all the commotion is
Hey,
about.
there's a mage class S at the academy.
That's crazy. There's no way one would be here.
I'm serious. I saw her at the entrance.
Wait, are you talking about that super hot girl?
Yeah.
This second student
You're
laughs.
blind. She's way too young to be a mage class S. If anything, she looks like a student here.
I thought the same thing, but I saw the emblem. She really is one.
The other student's eyes widen.
Really? But it doesn't make any sense. And why would she be at the academy?
I don't know.
My heart jumps. I turn and start jogging towards the entrance. My heart is pounding as I pick up pace. A feeling warmth and glooms in my chest, encouraging me to move faster. I reach to the route of the iron gate and see a woman leaning against it. I recognize her blonde hair instantly, and a warm, huge smile spreads across my face. Her hair is longer than before, and her new armor makes her look majestic. Hey, Leanna. starts at the sound of my voice, but I can already see a smile forming. She slowly turns, still looking as beautiful as the day I met her. There we go. Her blue eyes sparkle with warmth, and a bright smile lights her face as she looks at me. My heart flutters.
Hey there.
I should have saved. True ending achieved.
A significant amount of time has passed since you last attempted to open a temporal rift. Since you've absorbed more energy,
Oh, I can just press the skip button. Boop. Cool guys don't look at explosions. With my last strength, I turn away from the light, a small smile across my lips. The creature lets loose an anguished scream and begins to dissolve. The scream lingers in my mind, resonating in my ears. With the blind whiteness, I imagine Lee in a smile just as dazzling as light, and then nothing. So finally, over my face, safe and important smile on my face, let the brightness over me. It's really fall silent. Where am I? On Earth! They look at each other, look back at me.
Earth. That is what you call your home world?
I nod.
Yes, we can do so.
They prepare themselves to cast, but before they do, they look at me, instead seeing all of them standing there, just over them.
Thank you, Champion of Earth, for all you have done for us.
The Shadow Elemental lowers her head in respect. Each elemental nods.
Your bravery will not be forgotten.
Nor your dedication and persistence.
We will remember your sacrifice. Thank you for trusting us.
I look at each of the elementals and smile. I appreciate all the help you've given me along the way. The elementals return to position.
Close your eyes.
Okay. I do as I'm told, and I feel the crackle of energy and brightness behind my eyes. Electricity tangles in my skin, and I feel the same solidness surround me. In an instant, it's over. Then I hear a rustle of pages. Slowly, I blink open my eyes and raise my head. I focus on the same boring text from my open textbook. My open laptop still has pages of my notes. I'm back in the library? Was this all a dream? My heart sinks. All of my adventures and friends, none of that was real. Looking around, I see students focused on their book. Everything feels normal, like I never left. Guess I needed to come back to reality. I reach for one of my books and freeze. My hands still wear the same gloves from Haven Guard. I glance down and see the leather trousers Leanna and I bought together. It wasn't a dream. My heart pangs and thoughts of Leanna drift into my mind. I wonder how she's doing now. But we knew that we knew that what we had could only be temporary, and I was going to come home. And yet, now that I'm back, I can't shake the strange emptiness I feel, like something is missing. Still, at least with the creature defeated, I feel comfort knowing that she's safe. And our relationship, some things just aren't meant to be. I hear a strange nibbling sound emanating from my laptop. I push down the monitor to free my charger. With small, beady eyes look at me. What the fuck? How did you get here? A miniature Pongo bounces happily before me. Pongo, is that you? I lean in the period of me, blinks at me with tiny eyes and grins. You're so small, though. He barrels down towards me and squishes the jingles.
Boy.
I'm happy to see you, too. What happened? How did you survive?
Boy.
I laugh. Never mind. I'm just glad you're okay. He looks around the room and fascinated in confusion. It's a long story. He looks back down at my charger and opens his mouth. He lets out a happy sigh and begins feasting on my charger again. I split into a wide grin when I see him. Eat up, buddy. Feeling big and strong. I look around a familiar library. I can't stop my smile from growing. We made it. We're finally home. Ending D achieved. Ending D. Ending D. Ah. No.
A significant amount of time has passed since you last attempted to open a temporal rift. Since you've absorbed more energy.
Skip. Be cool. Skip. No questions. Skip. Don't say anything. Skip. No, the elements reached out her hand from the cabin to the smoke. Escape! A few times grip my throat and I see panic rise in my friends. I feel helpless as we grow weary and our dodges slow. We can't keep this up much longer. No, I can't give up. This can't be how it ends. I came here for a purpose and I can't let everyone down now. The energy hung within me, eager to be let loose. No, I know what I have to do. Within the edges and release and pause and explosion. Promise me, Lisa. Take care of yourself. She hits the shoulder face again. The sparks eagerly fly. I give her one last smile and turn towards the east. What if I just lose? I want to lose. I choose to click none of these. Alright. Alright, game. You've lost a little bit of my respect. I'm not gonna lie. Too risky and uncertain. The creature used too powerful. My structure seems to prick at me like an annoying mosquito that won't fly away. The jet of lumen constricting us aimingly and it continues to blast the creature with magic, but it doesn't even flinch when it hits. Fact tries to shoot his shadows flickering around us, but they easily flit and dodge shots. Kara and I slash at anything that comes down too close. There's always a shadow to replace what we cut down. It feels like the creature's out toying with us. Anger bubbles within me. I think this is our game. I do nothing to it. Anger fuels me with new strength. Gripping my sword, I race down to cut this creature. My sword slices cleanly through the shadows and lets out a furious roar. A claw extensively swipe me away. My body is propelled forward and I land hard against a tree. A thick crack of my skull hitting the trees resonates in my ears. My vision dips out in the blurry shadows with my friends. I reach out to the creature and fire one last blast of magic before my vision turns white. There's a soft rustling sound that turns in the pages of the book. Wait, do I know this? Did I do this one already? Oh, I'm gonna go back to the log. There's a soft rustling sound like turning the pages of the book, a current of whispers and layers of rustling books. Why do I hear books? Was it all a dream? Where the fuck is ending C? Isn't Kara good at the whole sneaking business?
I am, but there's too much open ground. Plus, we're traveling in a group.
Oh, right. That was a stupid suggestion. Maybe I can use my newfound energy. Alright, that's where I'm ending it here.